TJ. Niggas gon' hate, I don't care about them. Niggas gon' hate, I don't care about them. Not at all. No one can stop me, I feel like the greatest. Don't say be humble, I patiently waited. All of this love and I ain't even made it. I got a plan for them niggas that hate it.
What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, man? Hey, man. It's your boy, CRizzy, and I am back with another episode of CRizzy Takes. Now, for those that watch, I know it's been a minute. If you want to know the reason, that's great. Do me a favor. In the description, I got a link to my past video. I'll tell you. My bad, y'all. Like I said, in the description, there is another video. I have a link to another video on there. It'll tell you exactly where I was, why I've been going in, and tell you some more things. It's only 2 minutes. So go ahead, pause this video, check that video out. It's real quick. Now, for this video, this is CRizzy Takes. I'm hoping that I don't make this too long. Obviously, you know if it's long or not by now. I really don't. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, but this is the best time of year for me to make a video right now. There's plenty of time. I don't have a real timetable, but I'm going to set myself to a timetable. Here's my timetable. I'm going to try my best to hold myself to this schedule. And if I don't hold myself to this schedule, anybody out there that watches, hey, let me know. Hit me up on one of my social media accounts that I will have in the description as well. Say, hey, bro, you're not holding up to your schedule. Where's the videos at? Hey, I'm going to try to upload every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. 3 days a week. I'm going to try that out. I'm going to try to see if I can, hold that together. I'm going to try my best to get this video out by Monday night. It is 6:17 right now, so if I can upload this video within the next 12 hours in the way that I want to, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be impressed with myself. But this video is about the NBA free agency period. It's not just about free agency. I'm gonna talk about the NBA season. I'm gonna talk about NBA free agency. On Wednesday, I'm gonna talk about the draft. I'm gonna give you a whole mock draft of who I'm gonna think is gonna get drafted in the first round. And on Friday, I really don't know what I'm gonna do on Friday, but we're gonna figure it out together. So, as for the NBA season, obviously, you gotta say congratulations to the Toronto Raptors. I was happy to see Toronto win. Didn't think they were gonna win. I'm not gonna act like I've always been the biggest Raptor supporter. I never really liked the Raptors up until these finals, if I'm keeping it quite honest with you. Never liked them. Always felt as though that, they got a lot of credit and never earned it. They got a lot of clout but never earned it. A lot of people believe that they were championship contenders, but they never did anything. Or when they did something, they get swept by the Cavaliers. Or way back a few years, they got swept by my Wizards after having one of their best seasons up to that date. But at the end of the day, look where they are now. They're the champions, going into Golden State, beating them 3 times at Oracle, with or without Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant. That's no joke. Congrats to the Toronto Raptors. Moving on to my Washington Wizards. Just gonna touch on them real quick. There's not much to touch on about them. Not much exciting going on about them. Not much is changing. Right now, the Wizards are in a bad place. If I had to talk about any of my 4 teams, they're probably in the bleakest spot right now. Obviously, Tampa's the biggest joke of a franchise out of all the teams that I root for. But the toughest spot right now would be the Washington Wizards. Obviously, John Wall could potentially miss all of next year with his Achilles injury, I think it was, because he slipped in his house. I can't really tell you what happened there. Then on top of that, you have Bradley Beal. He's did a great job last year. Really showed himself to be a superstar. However, we don't know if he's gonna get traded. I just got an alert before I recorded this video that it's potential that we might trade him to the Pelicans for the number 4 draft pick. And I don't think that there's enough stars in this draft to trade up for the number 4 draft pick. With that, you could probably get a Cameron Reddish or maybe a DeAndre Hunter. But I just feel as though that DeAndre Hunter, Cameron Reddish, Jarrett Culver, any of those guys really, to me, in my opinion, are not worth trading Bradley Beal for. If we were able to get a RJ Barrett or a John Morant and obviously a Zion Williamson, that would be worth it. But that's the top 3. We will be trading for the number 4 pick. So I'm hoping that we don't bite on that trade. It's very possible that we bite on that trade. I don't know, man. The Wizards are just in a tough spot. We don't have any money. We're still strapped with that John Wall contract. Even though Bradley Beal has been worth it recently, we're still strapped with his contract right now. We have players like Jabari Parker for like $20 million on the books, and we have no room to make any moves in free agency. So it's a rough spot for my Wizards, man. So hey, pray for my Wizards because we're in a tough spot at the moment. But that's pretty much all I got to say about my Wizards. In terms of things like the Warriors and their injuries, prayers are up to Kevin Durant and to Klay Thompson. Hopefully they have a speedy recovery. I've never been the biggest fan of the Warriors, period. But injuries, especially injuries that can take you out for a year, are always tough. So both of them, I hope that they get back in time. But I'm just going to go ahead and admit it. But I'm excited that the Warriors are not in a spot that they're going to be the all-on favorites to win the championship next year. I mean, we've seen that picture already. We've seen it for 2 years. So I'm excited that coming into this year, it's wide open. I mean, yeah, the Lakers just got Anthony Davis, and everybody feels as though, okay, they're obviously the favorites. They have Anthony Davis, but things could go wrong. I just saw a post that not too long ago that Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard were the same age as LeBron and AD when they joined together, and obviously that failed. Now this could potentially be the same way. I don't think it's the same way because Anthony Davis can, first of all, do more than Dwight Howard could do then. LeBron James, in my opinion, is a better player than Kobe Bryant. And then I also think that the Lakers have a very good chance of getting a player like Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving. The Lakers feel that they're the front runner for Kawhi Leonard. So these are all interesting things that I can't wait to talk about, not just today, but in the future. The draft is this week. I don't know if it's Wednesday or Thursday, but I know it's this week. It's an exciting my bad again, y'all. For those of y'all that don't, let me tell you what's happening. Right now, I'm in a bad position right now. Soon I'm gonna have to get me a little thing to stick my phone up to. Right now, I'm recording on my phone. I don't want to hold my phone like I did in my past videos, so I got both of my hands. So what's happening is I'm sticking my phone in the little crevice of my steering wheel, and it's staying there for the most part, but obviously it's not gonna hold for long. So what's happening is it's dropping. That's why the video's kind of cutting out like that. But as I was saying, that the draft is either Wednesday or Thursday. I know it's sometime this week, so hopefully whenever it is, I can get my mock draft out before that draft. Like I said, I'm trying to hold myself to this strict schedule: Monday, Wednesday, Friday uploads. But that's pretty much what I had to say right now. Coming up next, after this short commercial break, I'm gonna talk to y'all about free agency. I'm gonna talk about the top 11 free agents. I'm gonna talk about where they've been rumored to go and where I think they're gonna go and where they should go. And then at the end of this video, I'm gonna tell you that if what I say happens, who I think the favorites are for the championship next year. Be right back.
They nation all over my body. You try to take me and turn to a homie. I just be on me, I just catch a molly. Sipping on lean, now I feel like a zombie. I'm with the gang and be dumb if you try me.
What's going on, man? It's your boy, CRizzy. Do me a favor. Go in the link right now. Click on the link 540 Talks. Click the link. Go to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing videos talking with my friend Jake. I know what you're wondering. Well, who's Jake? Well, you're going to have to click the link to find that out, won't you? Do me a favor. Click that link, man, and I'll see y'all soon. I'm out.
Oh my, yeah. On a vibe, what a wonderful time. 100 deep, all my niggas outside. Valet Park when I pull up in the ride. Ho is late, you might have to spend the night, yeah.
Oh, I love my city late at night, yeah. Oh, I love my bitches when they bite, yeah. Oh, let's call some up and let's get right, yeah. Oh.
I just caught the Mary Jeans, chain clank, but now she thinks she hearing things. I just counted up 100 bands with all my dogs at the Airbnb. All these niggas tryna beat me, got a new Hellcat, stay clear of me. And I got extended clip for all these fuck niggas. I'm straight out the mud, I can't fuck with fuck niggas. Why he say where he from, I don't give a fuck, nigga. A lot of y'all switched up on me, I don't trust niggas. I just put my middle finger up, fuck a fuck nigga. Hey.
Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome back, YouTube, and this is the second part. CRizzy Takes episode 8. You know, I went outside in between. I went to play a little basketball. Changed my shirt, as you can see. That's pretty much the only difference. The same day, everything. So second part, I told you we're gonna talk about NBA free agency now. Plain and simple. We're gonna talk about the top 11 free agents. I got the top 11 free agents right here. I'm gonna give the rundown. Gonna get their top destinations. I'm gonna tell you kind of who I think they should go to, and then I'm gonna tell you who I think they're gonna go to. Now, sometimes it might be the same thing, so if I don't say both, that means it's the same. I think they're gonna go there. As for afterwards, I'm just gonna give a rundown of who I think will be the top 10 NBA contenders after I say who the top 11 free agents are and where I think they'll go. A lot of landscape changing free agents here, man. And I'm just gonna give you the rundown of them real quick. All right, so pretty much what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go from really worst to best. Obviously, all these free agents I'm naming are good, but I'm gonna go from who I think are the least impactful to the most impactful. Number 11. So at number 11 on this list, we're starting with DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins of the Lakers. Really, there's only 2 teams that are truly interested in him, which is, would be surprising maybe a year ago, but as of right now, after I think he tore something last year, which kept him out for the first half of this year. Then he comes back, and then in the first round of the playoffs, he immediately tore his quad. I know he hurried back, so I guess he didn't tear it. Maybe he pulled it, strained it, whatever. But he came back. He had decent games, but he was kind of off and on. I think he's going to be much better next year, but there's only really 2 teams that are really rumored for him to go to, and that's going to be the Warriors and the Lakers. Now, in between those 2 teams of who I think he should go to, I think he should stay with Golden State between those 2 teams. He's played with Anthony Davis. I don't want to say that there's bad blood between the two, because how can there really be bad blood when Anthony Davis did the exact same thing that DeMarcus Cousins did last year, and that's pretty much leave. Now, DeMarcus Cousins took a risk. They say he took a risk on himself. He took a big pay cut, and it didn't pay off for him. He's probably going to have to take another pay cut again, and he didn't win a ring last year, and most likely, unless some medical miracle happens with Klay Thompson and KD, he's not going to win a ring next year. So most likely he will be a Warrior. I don't see really the Lakers breaking the bank open for him. So I say he winds up being a Warrior again next year. I say he stays in Golden State. Next on the list is Nikola Vucevic from the Orlando Magic. Not too many people know who I just said, but if you're a casual NBA fan, but the real NBA fans know who I'm talking about. Nikola Vucevic, the center for the Orlando Magic, had a great year this year. His numbers are right there up on the screen. Gonna bring them up right there. Had a great year this year for the Magic. The most rumored teams I've been hearing have been the Orlando Magic, of course, the Dallas Mavericks, which they love their foreign players. That wouldn't be a surprise. And the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers, obviously, they want a big man, but they kind of have their big man. It wouldn't hurt for them to get a real center, because chances are Anthony Davis is going to play power forward. So you have LeBron James at your power forward position. You have Anthony Davis at you have LeBron James at your small forward position, Anthony Davis at the power forward position, and it's on them to try to get a real center, a real official center. So Nikola Vucevic would be a sleeper pick, I say, for the Lakers. I think that would be his best location. He can immediately go get a championship. However, even though that's where I think he should go, it's not where I think he will wind up. I think the most likely place for him to wind up would be to stay in Orlando. It's home there. They can offer him the most money, obviously, because he'd be staying there. They can offer him the most money. That's his team. And right now, at this point, the Magic are only gonna get better. They made it to the playoffs, beat the soon-to-be champions in Game 1 at Toronto. They're a young team, young pieces like Jonathan Isaac, Nikola Vucevic. They're a young team, and they're only going to get better as they go along, as long as he stays in Orlando. I think he will stay in Orlando. Nikola Vucevic, I say, stays in Orlando. That's my number 2 free agent signing prediction. Number 3. Now, I know that some people may feel he's a little low, and he's only low not because of his talent. He's low because of how much of an impact I think he'll make in terms of the grand scheme of things, and that is D'Angelo Russell. Now, D'Angelo Russell, obviously, is a Brooklyn Net as of right now, but he could very well change teams, and it most likely will happen. I'll talk about why later. D'Angelo Russell is the Nets, Suns, Bulls, Mavericks, and in my take, I haven't heard this a lot, but in my take, I don't see why the Indiana Pacers wouldn't also be heavily pursuing D'Angelo Russell. I couldn't see why they wouldn't want to do that. D'Angelo Russell, obviously a great talent. Pretty much, I wouldn't say by himself because the Nets had great chemistry, but he was still the leader. He was the best player on a Nets team that beat the Philadelphia 76ers in Game 1 in similar fashion to what I just said about the Orlando Magic. D'Angelo Russell's obviously, he's only going to get better. I think he's on the verge of turning into a superstar point guard. Not all point guards come into the league and immediately light the league up, and I think D'Angelo Russell is starting to light the league up, and right now it's prime time for him. I personally, I think he should go to the Indiana Pacers, and I know that might, confuse some people. Why? To me, it's just a perfect fit for the Pacers and for D'Angelo Russell. Right now, the Pacers this year were a 5th seed. Now, all year long, they had a good team until Victor Oladipo got hurt. That's when they kind of derailed and wound up getting swept out of the playoffs after Victor Oladipo's injury. But in my opinion, the Indiana Pacers have for years been a point guard away, a real point guard away from being legitimate championship contenders. I'm not just talking about this team. I'm talking about in the past. In the past, when they had Paul George and Roy Hibbert and David West, to me, their weakest spot was George Hill. Now, obviously, they were still able to compete with the Miami Heat because the Miami Heat still had Mario Chalmers, and Mario Chalmers was a weak spot in himself. But I felt as though George Hill, it was never going to be the point guard that you were going to win a championship with, and George Hill proved that to me last year. But with that being said, this year, I feel as though Darren Collinson. Is Darren Collinson the guy that is going to push you over the edge? Is he the guy that is going to help you contend for a championship? Last year or 2 years ago, was Jeff Teague that guy that was going to be the one to help you be a championship contender? I think the answer to that question is no. I think D'Angelo Russell with Victor Oladipo, with Bogdanovich, with Domantas Sabonis, and with a young guy like Miles Turner, that's a young, talented team that could very well compete with anybody in the East if they added D'Angelo Russell. I feel as though that's where he should go. However, it's not where I think he will go. I think he will wind up being a Dallas Maverick, and here's why. I feel as though Mark Cuban wants a point guard. I don't think he'll really have a real chance at Kemba Walker like he was hoping to get this summer, and I think that he'll break the bank for D'Angelo Russell, and I think there's a chance, that is my prediction, that D'Angelo Russell will wind up a Dallas Maverick, and that in itself is a threat. D'Angelo Russell, Luka Doncic, Kristaps Porzingis, you never know. Next on my list is Chris Middleton. Now I have the 3 most rumored teams, and then I have a sleeper team. Now this sleeper team that I'm going to announce at the end of my prediction, and I'm going to tell you why they're a sleeper team. Now, Chris Middleton. The Bucks, obviously staying with the Bucks. The Mavericks, I've heard, have been rumored, and the Lakers. Now listen, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now, straight up, I think Chris Middleton will stay with the Milwaukee Bucks, mostly because these other 2 teams have, first, the Mavericks, I just don't really see as much of a fit as I see with some of the other teams, and like the Lakers and the Bucks. And for the Lakers, I feel like the Lakers are going to have their sights set so high. They're going to have it on Kemba Walker. They're going to have it set on Jimmy Butler. They're going to have it set on Kawhi Leonard and Kyrie Irving, that I think Chris Middleton's not going to sit around and wait for the Lakers to miss on all those guys and then he'll sign with the Lakers, because I feel as though that would be a mistake on Milwaukee's part if they were to just sit around and let him make his mind up. And I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to want to take those max dollars with Milwaukee as soon as possible. He's going to stay a Buck, period. Now, there is a sleeper team, and that sleeper team is the Golden State Warriors. Now, here is why I say that. And this can only happen if Kevin Durant leaves the Golden State Warriors. Now, I'll tell you whether I think that's going to happen or not in a minute. But only way Chris Middleton will lead the Milwaukee Bucks, in my opinion, and would be if the Golden State Warriors were to offer him, and it is potential if Kevin Durant were to leave the Golden State Warriors. And here's why I say that. If Kevin Durant leaves the Golden State Warriors, obviously there's going to be a hole at that small forward position. You can not plug Andre Iguodala in the starting role for 82 games plus the postseason and really expect to be a championship contender. Obviously, Kevin Durant is not going to play next year, whether he stays in Golden State or not. However, if he does leave, then you have to say to yourself, well, now we have to think long term. And when you think long term, You're gonna need a guy sitting there. Now, when the Warriors went 73-9, they didn't have a star at that small forward position. They had Harrison Barnes, who's also due to get some more money this summer. He could stay in Sacramento. He may leave. We'll see what happens there. But Chris Middleton is obviously not Kevin Durant. You're not replacing him with that quality of a guy, but you're replacing him with a quality player. And if Kevin Durant were to leave, they would have enough money to do so. If he stays and they sign him to a 5-year max, they're not going to have enough money to do so. Plain and simple. So that is the sleeper team. However, I don't think however, I think he will stay in Milwaukee, whether Golden State loses Kevin Durant or not. My pick is he will stay in Milwaukee. On to the next pick. Next guy, Tobias Harris. The teams that he are rumored to go to are the 76ers, to the Nets, Lakers, and once again the Mavericks. The Mavericks have been almost on everybody's list, I think, except for DeMarcus Cousins in terms of rumored teams. So apparently Mark Cuban's going for everybody. However, this is another one where I don't think he'll go with them. I think the best bet for Tobias Harris is to stay right where he is in Philly. I mean, Tobias Harris, for him to be as talented as he is, I mean, he is an all-star. He is a star. He is a good player. Look at the numbers that are up on the screen right now. He's no scrub. That's a good basketball player. He can get you 30 in big games. That is a scorer. He's a big man. He's a great player. But for him to have bounced around from place to place, from Milwaukee to Orlando to, I think, Detroit, Los Angeles, and now Philly, that's 5 teams for such a good player. I mean, he's a really good player. Why would you want to continue to move around? And out of the teams that I just named, unless Los Angeles continues to miss, I don't see why you would go to the Nets over Philadelphia. I don't see why you would go to the Mavericks over Philadelphia. Philadelphia can win a championship right now. They can win a championship immediately. And again, the same thing that I said about Chris Middleton and the Lakers is I feel the same way about Tobias Harris and the Lakers. The only way that he's going to wind up a Laker is if the Lakers miss on the bigger targets that they're looking for. And I don't see why he would sit around and just wait for a Lakers offer when he can get more money from the 76ers, and that the 76ers are most likely going to hit him up second. Now, they're going to hit him up after they hit up Jimmy Butler, but they're going to hit him up quickly. He is going to be a priority. I feel he will stay with this Philadelphia 76ers. Next on my list, this one's the quickest one. The next one on my list is Klay Thompson. He's been rumored to the I've heard things about him potentially listening to the Clippers, but obviously, if you've heard his father, Michael Thompson, or Mikhail Thompson, however you say his name, he just told the people, like, right after they lost the finals, he's coming back. He's coming back. I thought that was a no-brainer, period. He will be a Golden State Warrior. We don't really have to talk much about it. He tore his ACL. Hopefully he gets better soon. He'll be out for the whole season next year, but he's still going to make his money, which is a good thing. He'll be back, and he'll be back in a Golden State Warriors uniform. He's him, Steph Curry. Those are some of the very few players in the NBA that I think are going to be on their team for life. Klay Thompson will be a Warrior for life, in my opinion. He will stay with the Golden State Warriors. Now we're getting into the exciting portion. This is the top 5 players that are left in free agency. And, well, let's get into it. Number 5, Kemba Walker. Now, Kemba Walker has a lot of suitors. Kemba Walker, obviously, he can stay home with the Hornets. The Knicks might give him a call. The Lakers are definitely going to give him a call. The Mavericks are definitely going to give him a call. And then once again, I'm going to say it once again, even though I haven't heard these rumors, I don't see why the Pacers would not give him a call. Now, with that being said, in my opinion, the best place for Kemba Walker would be the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, come on, it's the perfect place for him right now. They have LeBron James. They have Anthony Davis. And you've seen how LeBron James plays with star point guards. Got them a ring against a 73-9 team. Kemba Walker is a superstar. I want to make no doubt about what I'm telling you right now. Kemba Walker, in my opinion, is up there with Damian Lillard. He's up there with Kyrie Irving. He's up there with Steph Curry. Now, Steph Curry is obviously in a tier above the other point guards in the league, but he is a top 5 point guard, in my opinion. No doubt about it. I even had to put him above John Wall until John Wall gets healthy, of course. But he is up there right now. He is a superstar. And anybody who doesn't know how much of a superstar Kemba Walker is does not know how much of a superstar Kemba Walker is because he's played for the Charlotte Hornets. I do not see why he would stay in Charlotte where they cannot put a good enough team around him. Sometimes organizations can't put good enough teams around you. Now, with all that being said, it has been rumored. Kemba Walker did say that his top priority are the Charlotte Hornets, and in my opinion, you have to bring common sense into play. You have to offer him the max. He said he's willing to take less than the max, but in my opinion, you have to offer him the max. Because if you're the Charlotte Hornets, who are you saving money for? You're not getting anybody else. If Kemba Walker walks out the door, nobody else is going to come in. You can't say, oh, at least we save money so we can get other free agents. Nobody else is coming in the door to play for the Charlotte Hornets. That's just not the way that this goes. You're the Charlotte Hornets. You are the Charlotte Hornets. If you don't draft stars, stars don't come. The small market teams like a Charlotte, like a Sacramento, have to work harder than the teams like Los Angeles. You have a star. You have to do your job to keep that star. You have to give him the money. You have to give him the max. I think he should be a Laker, but from what I've heard, I feel as though he's going to stay in Charlotte. I feel as though he will stay a Hornet. Moving on to Jimmy Butler. Now, Jimmy Butler's situation has been very, very interesting. I've heard so many. You've heard him Lakers, obviously. Obviously, he's still in Philly. I've heard him going to join Kyrie with the Nets. I've heard him talking about the Nets before Kyrie Irving and this whole recent noise has happened with the Nets. And once again, I can't make this up, the Mavericks also are going to make a option at Jimmy Butler. I'm just going to go ahead and say this right now so it doesn't sound long-winded in the future. The Mavericks are pretty much on every free agents list that are from the rest of this list. I don't think the Mavericks are getting any of these free agents. I don't think they're getting any of them. I know Mark Cuban's going to be aggressive, but I don't think he's going to land any of the people that I just named. I just don't feel that way. But as for Jimmy Butler, 76ers, Lakers, Nets. This is a three-way race in my opinion. And to me, it's very, very hard to determine what's going to happen here. In between the Lakers and the Sixers, I can't really say, well, if you go to this team or that team, you're going to win a championship. I can't really, because both teams can win a championship with him on their team. However, I think if you want a sure bet to get a championship, at least either this year or next year, you would go to the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers will win a championship this year or next year with or without Jimmy Butler, and I'm telling you that right now. Depending on who they get, they will win a championship either this year or next year with or without Jimmy Butler. So if he wants a championship, he will go and play for the Los Angeles Lakers. However, I do not think he will go to the Los Angeles Lakers, and here's why I will tell you that. Jimmy Butler wants to be the man on his team. It's why he kind of left Chicago. It's why in Minnesota it kind of flamed out, because he wants to be the man. He wants to be the biggest name. He wants to be the biggest name on his team. Now, in Philadelphia, is he the most talented on his team? Not in my opinion. I feel Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are better players. However, I feel Jimmy Butler kind of embraces that city more. I feel the city embraces his style of play, his aggressiveness more, and I feel as though that if he were to win a championship in Philadelphia, if he were to stay in Philadelphia, he would be the man in that city. And I feel like that, to me, is Jimmy Butler's main goal. He feels as though that he can be the man, and wherever he is the man, he can win a championship. I feel he stays in Philly, and I think Philly makes a run at a championship this upcoming year. Moving on to Kyrie Irving. Now, as for Kyrie Irving, obviously you have the Celtics, you have the Nets, you have the Knicks, and you have the Lakers. Now, for those teams, I'm going to tell you straight off the bat who I think he should go to. I think he should go to the Lakers. I feel as though the Lakers are, in fact, the best option for him for similar reasons that I said Kemba's best option would go to the Lakers. It's because we've seen Kyrie and LeBron. They've won a championship together, and they faced and that was an obstacle of a 73-9 Golden State Warrior team. That Warrior team is no more, at least for this upcoming year. That Warrior team this year will not exist. the West would easily be theirs if Kyrie Irving were to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. However, he just signed with Roc Nation, and Roc Nation has ties to the Brooklyn Nets, obviously. I don't feel that Kyrie Irving has I know he called and apologized to LeBron for the cockiness and what he did and how he handled his leaving in Cleveland. However, I feel as though he's not completely over that situation. I feel he still wants to be the man where he goes. So, with that being said, with the fact that Kyrie Irving grew up a New Jersey Nets fan, considering the fact he signed with Roc Nation Sports, and considering guys like Stephen A. Smith has continuously said that he is not hearing that Kyrie Irving will become a Los Angeles Laker, I feel as though that Kyrie Irving will be a Brooklyn Net this upcoming season. Now, Kawhi Leonard, number 2, world champion, finals MVP right now. And once again, I'll say it again, Raptors fans, congratulations to you. Obviously, his top choices are to stay in Toronto, the Los Angeles Clippers, and the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, New York Knicks organization has said, we're also going for Kawhi Leonard. We're going aggressive for stars. I'll tell you right now, it's not looking good for the New York Knicks on any front. Obviously, I didn't even bring up the New York Knicks for Kyrie Irving just a second ago, and that would have been completely different about a month ago. But right now, it's not looking good, and I haven't heard Kawhi Leonard with any interest with the Knicks. Now, this is probably one of the hardest predictions because Kawhi Leonard is Kawhi Leonard. Nobody knows what he's really thinking. Personally, you just want a championship. Personally, there's the Wine and Dine service that they have in Toronto where he can eat at so many restaurants free. Then you have I forget how many $1 million luxury pad that he's living in right now for free. In my opinion, you're saving money if you stay in Toronto because you're not going to have to pay for anything. You have the support of an entire country behind your back. Toronto's a beautiful city and you just won a championship there. So I, in my personal opinion, think he should stay in Toronto. That's what I would do if I was Kawhi Leonard. I just won a championship with them. However, that's not what I think is going to happen. I think he's leaving no matter what, and I think he's going to Los Angeles. Which Los Angeles team? I think it'll be the Clippers most likely. It could be the Lakers. I've heard a lot more that it could be the Lakers after Anthony Davis came. I'm telling you right now, if I don't think this will happen, but if he does go to the Lakers, I will let you know right now, the Lakers will win the championship this year. There's nothing even to talk about. However, I do not think he will go to the Lakers. I do think he will go to the Clippers. And I think that the Clippers and Lakers are going to be one heck of a rivalry this upcoming year. And that leaves Kevin Durant, Golden State Warriors. Obviously, Golden State Warriors, New York Knicks, Brooklyn Nets, and the Los Angeles Clippers are all rumored to be heavy in the sweepstakes for Kevin Durant. Had this been about a week ago, I think that's when he got injured last Monday, I would have told you Kevin Durant was going to play for the New York Knicks. Unfortunately, he ruptured his Achilles. Unfortunately, he will not play next year. And I'm just hearing so much. Unfortunately, I feel he's going to stay in Golden State. However, I think that any of these other teams would be idiots to not give him the max immediately as soon as free agency starts, ruptured Achilles or not. Because I'll name the other teams I just named right now. Again, the Brooklyn Nets, who, even though, yes, I think Kyrie Irving will go there, but is Kyrie Irving by himself in that Nets team enough to win a championship? No, they're not. They're not good enough to win a championship. Period. They aren't. Kyrie Irving plus Karis LeVert and plus I'm having a hard time naming these other players, and Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. Those guys are not enough to win a championship if Kyrie Irving plus Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, and Al Horford were not. That's not enough to win a championship. Kyrie Irving and that Nets squad plus Kevin Durant is. I don't see how you don't offer Kevin Durant the max. And then when he recovers, you become a championship contender. I don't see how the New York Knicks, who are now not even being talked about to land Kyrie Irving, who are not going to land Kawhi Leonard, who are not going to be able to draft Zion Williamson. I don't see how, if you're the New York Knicks, who have been wallowing in mediocrity for the past however many so years, how you don't offer Kevin Durant the max. Now, the Los Angeles Clippers are in kind of a better position considering they're the favorites to land Kawhi Leonard, and I do believe that Clippers team plus Kawhi Leonard is a championship contender. They took the healthy Golden State Warriors to 6 games. So yes, I will say that they're contenders. But the Knicks and the Nets, I don't see how they don't offer the max if the Warriors are willing to offer the max. In my opinion, he'd be best served going to the Nets, sitting out a year, contending with Kyrie Irving, winning a championship with the Nets. That's where you get some respect back. People respect you because what have the Nets won? Now, they've had some good teams. They've made it to the finals with Jason Kidd. They made it to the finals with Kenyon Martin. But what have they won in the last 30 years? What have they actually won championship-wise? Nothing. Now, they've made it to the finals, but they haven't won championships. And I feel that if Kevin Durant were to go there with Kyrie Irving, my apologies, that they could become a championship team. With that being said, I think he stays in Golden State, unfortunately, and that's just the way that it's going to go. So, next episode, I'm going to talk about the NBA draft. I'm going to give you my mock draft. I'm going to give you all 30 of my predictions of who I think certain players will go to. Maybe I'll put in some trades, we'll see. And then after that, I'm going to give you who my top 10 after free agents, after the draft. I'm going to tell you who I think after I make my predictions for the draft, who I think will be the top 10 contenders for the NBA championship next year. Hey man, do me a favor, you know the drill. Like, share, subscribe, and God willing, I'll see you Wednesday. Appreciate you.
Listen when you told me. Look at how I'm on it. Look at how I'm on it.